Bugs crashing your pack's party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wondercide comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed. Lab-proven to work fast. And proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wonderside's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wonderside.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wonderside.com. Wonderside. Protect your pack with plant-powered Wondercide today.
Hey, this is Jason Kleberg from the Force 5 podcast, a show that forces a guest to come up with a movie-themed top 5 list topic, and then we reveal our picks on air. Top 5 heist films, top 5 tearjerkers, top 5 movie dogs. Every show you'll be asking yourself, what would be on my list? Guests include directors, screenwriters, actors, podcasters, musicians, authors, and even a professional wrestler. Subscribe to the Force 5 podcast, and you won't just be a listener, you'll be a list nerd. The Force 5 podcast, available wherever you're listening now.
We're in Way Media. Welcome back to Midnight Viewing, the horror anthology podcast, where this season we are taking a look at George A. Romero's 1980s series, Tales from the Darkside. I'm Father Malone. Sharing the Midnight View with me are the Culture Cast, Chris Stashu.
You guys ever look at Richard Romanus and just go, why wasn't he more popular? And then I think to myself, did Judge Reinhold just take that away from him?
You just don't know Damone. Also joining me are the projection booth's Mike White.
When it comes down to making out, whenever possible, put on side one of Led Zeppelin 4.
God.
That's right. Tonight we are taking a look at 2 episodes from season 3. Those are The Social Climber and The Swap. The Social Climber, season 3, episode 19, originally aired on March the 8th, 1987, written by Ellen Sandhouse and directed by friend of the podcast, Armand Mastriani, starring Albert Haig, Robert Romanus, and Talia Balsam. A cobbler's assistant wants the sweet life, and he wants it now. And he works with the magic man who makes magic shoes. Social climbing hijinks ensues. What'd you think of this,
shoes,
Mike?
eh, Father Malone?
That's
Special
right.
shoes, you say?
Magical shoes. Crocs.
Were they cruel shoes?
They were Crocs.
Not the cruel shoes.
She had the jokes. Yes. Hey, we finally got a fucking twist. Like, we haven't had a good the universe hates you twist in a while. I think the last one might have been that stupid son of a bitch that got cut up by the ceiling fan. These episodes are here to teach us a lesson, right? This is all about moralizing, all about telling us, be happy with what you have. Don't try to be a social climber. Don't try to get ahead in life. Just be content. And this one just brings that home in spades. Yeah, I thought it was decent. Felt like it took fucking forever to get where it was, and it didn't really seem to know the rules of the shoes, which I don't say very often.
Not often enough.
It just felt off. It's like I almost want to see if there's like, was this based on a short story? Because it feels like it should have been.
Nope.
I don't know if it, wow, okay. Yeah. I don't know. It feels like Alan Sandhouse had more to this at some point, and she just had to start clipping stuff out. And what we ended up with didn't make a ton of sense. Yeah. I hate to be the guy who's just the rules, set up the rules. What are the rules of this thing? But you kind of have to. So then you know what you're playing against. And then the twist makes a lot more sense when it comes to that. But what'd you think about this one, Chris?
Don't set up the rules, man, if you're just gonna ignore them. What's
They,
the
they
fucking
didn't.
point? What?
They didn't set
Set
up
up
any
the
rules.
rules.
I
Yeah.
know. That's what I mean. Or I was gonna say, don't set up the rules or ignore them, or just do what this episode does and just don't fucking establish rules at all.
Yeah.
I liked this more when I saw it as an Adam Sandler film a couple years ago called The Cobbler, which is more or less this episode's plot. A man works at a store that makes shoes and repairs shoes. And in repairing said shoes, he finds out that he can put said shoes on and walk a mile in someone's shoes. And it's Adam Sandler. And it's directed by, of all people, Tom fucking McCarthy.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Dennis Dugan,
I
motherfucker.
was, it would have been, if it had been Dennis Dugan, you would have not. If it was like one of those quippage things, I could have lied to you and been like, it's Dennis Dugan. And you would have been like, yeah, it probably is.
Sure
He
thing.
directed Grown Ups 1 and 2. Why not The Cobbler? You know what? I think to Mike's point, Bob Romanus in this episode is pretty decent and the twist is okay. But what the fuck episode? 20 minutes for this? And then it's just like, and he dies off screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, I like the twist, but I don't like the execution leaves a lot to be desired.
Definitely feeling
Follow
like
alone.
definitely feeling like they ran out of money here at the end of season 3. The past few episodes,
Yeah.
this one in particular, they're keeping it all in one location and not a lot of special effects and zero monsters of late here on Tales from the Dark Side. I guess because
Humanity is the monster, Father Malone.
Ooh, no, yeah, overreaching is, you're right. This feels like an EC comic, like careful what you wish for, or be grateful for what you have, because he's already got the perfect girl and he could have the perfect life, but he just wants to rub elbows with the hoi polloi weirdly. And by the way, the donuts look great. Coffee looked delicious. Liked all of that. This is a weird little Fame reunion too, with two actors from the television series Fame. Robert Romanus wasn't in the movie, but Albert Haig was. But they're both in the series. I'll never forget Robert Romanus portraying the role of Moriarty in a musical of Sherlock Holmes on Fame.
Wow. Wow. Should I go back and watch that? No, I shouldn't.
If you do, I'll come do that with you. I've got a soft spot in my heart for Fame in all of its iterations.
I finally just watched the movie maybe a year ago. It was not that long ago. Yeah, I grew up hearing the songs and everything, but it was just a smidge too old for me when it came out, and just never checked it out.
Wow, that's a movie I watch every year, I think.
Wow. Yeah, I was so surprised, especially to see the cancer eating man in here. I was just like, what? What is this guy doing? Paul McCrane, aka the guy that gets spattered by Ray Wise in RoboCop.
He got his arm cut off by a helicopter on ER.
Oh my God, that was amazing. That was so good when that happened.
I met him in a parking lot of a Thrifties once. He was so sweet. He was so excited that anyone recognized him, honestly.
You go, oh, you think you're pretty smart, huh? Smarter than a bullet?
No, what's funny is, no, because he said everyone recognizes him from RoboCop, but I was like, oh my God, Fame. And he was like, what? And came right over to talk to me about it. It was fun, yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't know. It is just a little EC comic. It's
Very easy, yes. Yeah.
The problem is, I would like to have seen something with the shoes.
Can we leave the set?
It all happens off screen,
Yes,
baby. We don't need to see what happens elsewhere. Just see what happens to him when he's there.
It is classic screenwriting. You tell, you don't show. Come on.
When you have no money, what are you expected to do?
Exactly.
I really feel that way. Armand Mastriani is usually pretty thrifty and ingenious with stuff. He was the one who believe he created a fucking circus out of a light package at one point earlier in one of the earlier seasons. I'm a little shocked he didn't come up with some sort of phantasmagorical thing to give us, I don't know, some impression of what Robert Romanus was going through. Instead of his just glum recitation of what was going on the night before. Liza was there with Frank. Yeah. Talk to the mayor. Okay, cool. What are you getting out of this?
Did you have a good time? Doesn't sound like you had a good time.
Richard Romanus just always seems so fucking disinterested.
Totally.
Like, I get it in terms of, yeah, that's cool. Like, you're a cool guy. You seem disinterested. That's what cool guys are. But I'm not sure I want that guy as my...
No.
Also, Father Malone, this just reminded me too much of that Christopher Reeves episode of Tales from the Crypt with Judge Reinhold. Or Judd... Is it Judge Reinhold? No, Judd Nelson.
Judd
That's
Nelson.
who's in it.
That's a cannibal episode. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what this reminds. Richard Romanus and Judd Nelson facially similar.
No.
I feel like they do from behind.
No, you're just in that movie together. That's all.
No, they look similar.
No.
You don't think Judd Nelson and Richard Romanus look similar?
No, not at all. Not even remotely, sir.
That's not true. You're lying. I think they look similar, which is why I often think that Judd Nelson is in Fast Time.
Fun fact: Albert Haig wrote the song "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch." Not the lyrics, obviously.
I wondered why that was, why he was showing up around that. I thought that because they said something about writing a musical, but I guess the cartoon is a musical.
Indeed, that was his claim to fame before being sucked up into fame.
Oh, interesting.
Mr. Montanelli.
Or being in Space Jam.
Yeah, he's very familiar.
Albert Haig. Talia Balsam, also fucking fantastic. Mrs. John Slattery. She's great, man. She's been in a bunch of. She plays Alex Rieger's daughter on Taxi. Judd Hirsch's daughter on Taxi. So I've been seeing her there a lot, and then I saw her on Mad Men a lot recently, and I just dig her. We need to see more of her.
Yeah, she was very good. Yeah.
No elves. You can't really have a Cobblers episode without elves, I don't think.
No blue suede shoes.
No, it's so funny. I was just talking about the cobbler's wife the other day to one of my coworkers. Of course, he had no fucking idea what I was talking about. I was like, the cobbler's wife. Everybody's got shoes in town, but the cobbler's wife, because you don't take care of what's at home. I'm like, okay, yeah, never mind. Yeah, and I've tried to tell the whole story about the breadcrumbs and the elves and all that stuff. These kids today, they don't know the classic stories.
And they're readily available in cartoon form. They're just not getting the old classic MGMs and Warner Brothers.
They're also available in Tales from the Darkside form, guys. Come on.
Oh yeah, you can get them.
That's me being facetious, obviously. How does he die at the end? He just dies?
Yeah.
Because he wore the shoes of a dead man.
And so he gets to experience that man's life.
Yes.
So if they take the shoes off, does he come back to life?
Oh, you have to bury in a special cemetery.
Where they ring the bell.
A Twilight Zone, a new Twilight Zone. We had dead woman's shoes based on the dead man's shoes. Same sort of idea. Like put on the shoes, live the life of the last person who.
If we're going to go in that vein, I'm much more like that Twilight Zone episode that we've neglected to do where that one guy just becomes black in the episode. That's if you're going to walk a mile in someone's shoes, that's
Are you
the
talking about
to do it.
Twilight Zone 2002 with Forrest Whitaker?
And that's the first episode of that show.
Yeah, we will we will never do that series.
Why? It's you know what? You besmirch the good name of it, but it actually had some bangers in there and you know it. Like the one episode where everybody's just in a computer game. Another great one.
First of all, we have so many good series to get through before we get to another Twilight Zone. We have done the Twilight Zone. So we've done, in fact, the best iteration of the Twilight Zone.
Not
we've done
all
the
Twilight
best iteration of the Twilight Zone.
If we're not doing all of the Twilight Zone before we're all in the Twilight Zone, I'm going to be disappointed. I thought that 85 was just an appetizer, an hors d'oeuvre to the main course of watching the entire show.
We're fucking living in the Twilight Zone. Why do you want to fucking go back to it?
At one point, we went through the veil while watching the show into the fucking Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I think we might have caused this.
I blame Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson. Why?
Because I fucked up Jordan Peele's name. That's why.
Yeah.
Even better. I was like, hell yeah. Is that what you're going for?
That's right.
Remember
And
that Jordan
I
Peele
will
Twilight
own
Zone?
that bitch.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yes, let's
Jordan
make
Peele
it
Twilight
as
Zone is
obvious
bad.
as you possibly can. Remember, they had a child playing the president.
Jacob Tremblay, even.
Oh, it was so controversial. Oh.
So on the nose.
Podcast at 20,000 feet.
Oh, podcasting. Did you know that internet radio is a thing?
And it was the other passengers. They were the gremlin.
Oh. He was dead the whole time.
Wow. It was in a dream. Spooky.
Remember John Candy and his Twilight Zonettes? He was on Fridays one time. He hosted Fridays and he was like, I'm Rod Serling. These are my Twilight Zonettes. And it was just like, it basically boiled every Twilight Zone episode down to a fucking blackout sketch. I'm in a zone.
Can I just point out that I feel like I would have vibed a lot more with the SCTV people than the SNL people, because the SCTV people always seemed like they were really fucking weirder. They were involved in the esoterica more, because the Twilight Zone is just, that's Canadian comedy for.
They weren't on cocaine.
They were on Tim Hose and Tim Bits.
All right.
Speaking of bashing me over the head.
Here we go. The Swap. Season 3, episode 20, aired originally on March the 3rd, 1987. Written by Richard Benner, directed by John Drury, and starring Charles Ludlam, Maria Manouche, and James Wilczek. This is a love triangle, and it's got body switching. I wonder where we've seen that before. Oh, all anthologies. Night Gallery, Twilight Zone, Tales from the Crypt. I knew we'd get her eventually. What is the newest wrinkle in this one? Can you tell me, Chris?
I liked the skeleton key when I saw it in theaters. Ha! That's what this reminded me of. And that movie's not very good. And the twist of that movie is the twist of this episode. This episode is exactly what you expect it to be. Once you see where the setup is going, it's, oh, okay, one of them's gonna switch the body with, it's Twilight. Mike, you were on the Tales from the Crypt episode with the body swapping. And that episode, not great. This episode, not great.
But better episode.
Than this? Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
God.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Again,
let's make this guy gross looking. Let's just give him skin lesions, and that's enough.
And you know what? You can easily have moles removed. It's
Mike.
Not a problem. I used to have a mole right here. Would always get caught when I was shaving. I think I had a big one on my forehead at one point, and it's there's a different one right here. But yeah, it's like, yeah, just go to the doctor, get those taken care of. It's really okay. And I don't know why after you swap bodies with this guy, that guy then has to start looking gross, because that feels like defeats the purpose of switching bodies with the young hunky guy. I'm going to switch bodies with the young hunky guy, and then he's going to turn out to be gross. Now
I could understand that a body swap had occurred, Mike, because we're fucking stupid.
Because we're dumb. Yes. Okay.
Because we are dumb shits.
It's not like we didn't know when he said, oh, there's a missing ingredient and it's 7 letters and it starts with an H. And I was just like, okay, hemlock. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Horny goatweed had 2 men.
Just like, yeah. The picture of the mom was really getting to me. Was that just like leftover from another episode or something? It just felt like a weird
that photo
leftover thought. Yeah.
No, that was Charles Ludlam in drag.
That was okay. Is that why he's in drag also on his profile picture on IMDb?
I can't vouch for that. I just know that in this episode that was supposed to be him as his own mother.
I did not pick that up at all. Yeah. I thought that was Estelle. I thought Estelle was coming back to haunt me, that she had turned from a mannequin into a real person, was now haunting my dreams.
For those of you who don't know what he's talking about, good for you.
Yes.
Lucky you, I believe, is the correct parlance.
Wow. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of this one either. I don't expect these anthology shows to be subtle. You got, 22 minutes to get a story across. You got to really hit that sometimes. Just really, we know which way we need to go, and we're going to go that way, and we don't care if you see that curve coming or not. We're just going to plow right through it, and that's it. But this was one of the most unsubtle episodes I've seen, and I just didn't care about any of the people. And it's not, I talked with the shoe thing as far as the whole don't try to better yourself, don't try to do this. This is all like the moralizing of these stories, I guess it's because his wife is an adulteress, but what the hell were they doing together anyway? He was the worst person in the world. She's not that much better, but Bubba, basically wins in the end. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Is this just we have to punish this woman for being an adulteress?
Okay, in that case, we're talking Darkside. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with the villain being a villain and winning in the end. That's fine by me. What I do have a problem with, this is every fucking trope. This is the love triangle trope. This is the handyman and the wife are having the affair and the poor aggrieved husband, but he's worse than her somehow. And then the body swapping, which we say Larry Hagman over on the Night Gallery was doing it with his housekeeper. As far as love triangles, Jesus Christ, Tales from the Dark Side, Tales from the Crypt is just a wash in love triangles, hammering all of that shit here and then not doing anything new or interesting with it. In fact, I don't know. The performances are fine. The main guy is pretty good. The fucking friend, who's also a reverend, made me want to kill myself. The not quite Otho Glenn Shaddix.
Oh, thank you.
Bargain basement Glenn Shaddix, basically.
Oh my God. That haircut? What? He's in a movie that I've been wanting to see for a while now called Happy Birthday, Gemini. And this is almost enough to make me actually watch it. It just looks so bad. And so here's the plot. A poor Harvard student's romance with a girl hits a rough spot when he realizes on his 21st birthday that he's in love with her brother, based on the 1970s off-Broadway smash.
Twist. Oh, yes. I want to see that too. My God, that sounds great. Yeah, that's hilarious. I don't know. I've just got a thing for fucking college movies. I just think, particularly if they're really earnest.
This one looks like a balls-out comedy, and it stars Madeline Kahn.
Oh, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
1980. There you go. If I find Goodbye Gemini or Happy Birthday Gemini, Goodbye Gemini is a whole different thing. I will let you know, and we can check it out together.
Yeah. Boy. Yeah. The swap, the switch, the Freaky Friday, the Happy Death Day of it all. I don't know what this was.
No, that's not Happy Death Day. What the fuck is that? Freaky?
Oh,
That's
Freaky. Yeah, Freaky.
Freaky.
Yeah, I already said Freaky Friday, which is what, of course, they very
ripped it off
subtly.
One step
No,
further.
they're very subtly referencing.
Just like The Predator and Predator, two different things.
Okay, so she's a trophy wife, and this guy's lording over her young boyfriend that he's taking her off to fuck her, and he's really gross and everything. But okay, as a trophy wife, we're to assume that this guy is loaded. From his modest surroundings, I'm going to say he is not loaded. And then, so his scheme is, unlike previous body swapping schemers, his plan is to inhabit the body of the young man, and then she'll inherit all of the money if she marries the young man. And now that there's they give him some Louisiana, because this is a New Orleans episode, he gives her some sort of local statute that says that common law now says that, or community property, that he now has he has access to half of the money. So at this point, doesn't she just go, okay, divorced? And if that statute was on the books to begin with, then just divorce and take half of his money and go off with the kid. No body swapping necessary. And no, I think they're being punished, by the way, at the end, Mike, because they murder him.
Oh, yeah. They gave him hemlock, which was the secret ingredient, so they really kind of helped him out.
That was not their intention.
An accidental good deed.
They weren't like, hey, how can we help your husband?
How about a bottle of hemlock?
I know. Let's tie him spread eagle to a bed and feed him poison. That will help him.
Mm-hmm. Have you been reading my diary again?
Why is this such a popular trope to go back to? Because it's just so cheap. Is that what it is?
It's relatable. Everyone's jealous.
Okay. I'm just curious.
Everybody wants that better life. I want to wear those shoes.
That's right. Everyone's a social climber.
Want to wear those cruel shoes.
I want to dance. I want to sing. I want to live my life, apparently. That's the problem.
Nope. Stop that. No singing.
When they start having his face mutate at the end, I'm just like, you must really think that the audience are...
Him just repeating the phrase that the guy said all the time and cackling the way the guy cackled is enough. We get it. We know.
100%.
In fact, we already know as the audience. We've been following along.
Yeah, it's readily apparent what is going on in this episode. And I find it very hard to believe that anyone watching along wouldn't be like, I get it.
I guess
I
they figure
understand.
because
Who else could it be?
the husband at one point has a conversation with his friend and they're talking about the transmigration of the soul, but then they cut away real quickly. So I think they think that they were just laying a breadcrumb that would pay off later, that we didn't know this was going to be a body switching episode because it's called the swap.
What else would it be? Snowballing?
Have you been reading my diary again?
Yeah, I was going to say, he likes to snowball, folks.
Or are you just looking at my browser history?
Snowballing and traps, folks. Mike White.
Yeah.
Fan of it all. He's a fan of it all. He's a there's nothing this man doesn't like.
Yeah. We didn't talk about women's best on this episode, did we?
Yeesh.
Yeah. Yes.
Have some. Father Malone, when does the show course correct, or does the show course correct at all?
I don't know.
Oh dear. Oh no.
I'm looking ahead to season 4, and there are some ones just off of the top of my head that are really good, actually, including like the first Clive Barker adaptation. There's a Divine shows up next season in an episode, in a comedy episode. Yeah, Debbie Harry does too, actually. No, so there's some pretty good ones coming up. So I don't know that it ever course corrects to like season 2 goodness, but it never falls to Night Gallery or Twilight Zone 85 levels of badness.
Honestly, some of these episodes lately have been good. Like, I really kind of liked Black Widows. Gosh, what was it? Seasons of Belief, I think it was. I mean, have been some really good ones lately, but yeah. But then I think of things like My Own Place, where it's okay. So yeah, all right. Maybe I'm thinking more of season 2 than season 3.
The thing is, again, when you have a show like this, and we've talked about this before, when you have a show like this that does as much as this show does, and I mean in terms of not that many shows have this much fucking range. An anthology show is expected to have kind of an unlimited amount of range in terms of the subjects and things that it can tackle. And it's Father Malone, you and I think it was you and I that were talking about this yesterday, recording about it. The restaurant that does one thing well, or a restaurant that has to do a million things. This is you don't have a fucking choice. You have to do a million things. That's the goddamn expectation. Like, the expectation is you will do a lot of different things with an anthology show. And that, I don't think, is realistically sustainable in the long run. And I think that more or less every single one of these shows that we've talked about has shown that is in fact that these are not sustainable in the long term. Because like you said, Father Malone, we're at season 3, and season 3 of most of these shows flies off of a cliff head first.
I think if you're going to do an anthology series, you got to have a limited number of episodes per season, and you need to have already going in, you need to have at least 3 seasons worth of stories. And those stories are out there. You just need to go find them and pay the author appropriately and then make them, and you can do it. The fact that every anthology series keeps faltering to me is bonkers. Like,
in the same way too, Mike.
Oh yeah.
Like the same way. It's just like the stories did just start retreading the same bullshit material over and over again. And all I can think to myself is, you're telling me that there weren't plenty of short stories out there to adapt? Really?
I feel like you hit on something though, that you actually have to pay these writers, which that's anathema to me. I don't want to have to pay anybody for this stuff. Come on.
I was about to say, we know how Hollywood feels about paying anybody to do anything, especially people that write things. My God.
Oh.
Writers deserve to live.
Don't these people just make up this stuff when they're on screen?
That's right. Everyone just says what's on the top of their head.
Yep.
All right. On the next episode of Midnight Viewing, we'll be taking a look at the final 2 episodes of season 3. Those are Let the Games Begin and The Enormous Radio. Midnight Viewing is a proud member of Weirding Way Media Group. Our theme song was composed by HP with an assist by Donald Rubenstein. Until next time, what are you working on? Where can people find you, Christashue?
You can find me and all the things that I work on over at weirdingwaymedia.com, where this show and so many other great shows can be found, including The Projection Booth and Twisted and Uncorked. And only thing that can't be found there is Rankin on Bond, which can be found at my Patreon or Mike's Patreon at patreon.com/culturecast or patreon.com/projectionbooth. What about you, Mike?
Well, speaking of Patreons, we should probably give Father Malone's Patreon a plug as well. And I always appreciate Father Malone hosting this show and walking us through these anthologies, especially this one, Tales from the Darkside. It's been very good. I haven't even heard any special audio effects lately. We're running dry on that front, too. That's like the highlight of the episodes for me sometimes. So
that was Night Gallery specific.
Oh, okay. So that particular library. All right, I got you. I stand corrected.
Our next series, we're going to get into a lot more of that, actually.
You hear this guy? The next series.
He already announced it. It's Hammer's House of Horror.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. I've had people already asking me. They're like, when are you covering Hammer House of Horror? And I'm like, as soon as we get done with Tales from the Darkside. And this was one we had just started Tales from the Darkside. So.
Me too. I got hammered by people for Hammer House of Horrors.
Oh, hey,
hold your Hammer House of Horrors horses.
Oh.
So yeah, thanks Father Malone for doing all of this, and definitely check out some of the shows that Father Malone does. I think they're all available over at readingmaymedia.com. So that's my plug is your plug.
Thank you very much. Some of those shows, our composer HP does 2 shows over there. I'm just going to plug his Noise Junkies, his music show. It's fucking fantastic. A pretty in-depth look into particular albums or artists. And he also does a show called Night Mr. Walters, which is a look back at the Taxi television series. And I'm the co-host on that. All right. Thank you all for joining us here at Midnight Viewing. Until next time, try to enjoy the daylight.
Hello, this is Aaron West. I am the author of the A24 New Wave. In this book, I look at A24's output and I make the argument that we are in a new wave movement right now. A24 plays a major role. This book has a supplemental podcast where each episode is a brief conversation about an A24 related topic, whether an actor, director, or even a genre. As I continue research for the book and conduct interviews, I expect to record podcast episodes with people involved with the company. You can find the podcast at cinejourneys.com or wherever you find podcasts, and we are proud to be members of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Do you love movies? So do I. What's up, y'all? It's KB, and I love movies, inviting you to listen to The Conversation, a film podcast where passion meets perspective and opinion. From the old school to the new, I invite a guest on to discuss the movies that thrill us, challenge us, break our hearts, or even blow our minds. There's always new episodes dropping wherever you get your podcasts. So join the conversation. We don't just watch movies. We love talking about them too. The Conversation with KB Loves Movies, a part of Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.